Hundreds graduate from the UWI. The ruling BLP intends to celebrate its election victory during its upcoming 80th Annual General Conference. And in sports, Windies captain talks runs on the board ahead of tomorrow's ODI series against India.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening to you. I am Ryan Broom with the Saturday, October 20th edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, hundreds of graduates from various faculties made their special walk this morning to receive first degrees, associate degrees, diplomas and certificates from the University of the West Indies Cafil campus. It was the first of two ceremonies for the 2018 graduating class. UWI Chancellor Robert Bermudez told the graduates the current age of technological advancement has opened new doors that must be embraced.
We need to adjust our minds to the thought that we are part of a much larger community of over 6 billion people, many of whom are already connected to us, and that we must adjust to becoming global citizens. This creates an enormous opportunity to reach out in every direction to fulfill your ambition.
And the Chancellor also challenged the graduates to directly combat global warming.
It is easy to believe that one person can make little difference, but this is not true. If we get involved, we will collectively make an immense difference. We need to support every effort to develop and install alternative energy, something that is particularly suited to our region. We must ensure that we don't pollute our sea and the food source that it supports, or allow others to do so.
In other news, weeks after Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley signaled her support to Caribbean Moves, a campaign to raise awareness to non-communicable diseases and ways to combat the diseases, Barbados is officially on board with the initiative. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness, along with that country's Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, launched Caribbean Moves at the recently held 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York City. Barbados Moves was launched at the Ellerton Sports and Social Academy in St. George. The Ministers of Health and Wellness, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, Minister of Small Business, Entrepreneurship and Commerce Dwight Sutherland, along with senior health officials and the visiting Jamaican Minister of Health, showed they were up to the task, taking part in a boot camp exercise. Similar exercises were held simultaneously across the country. Minister Bostic notes that given the negative impact of non-communicable diseases, they intend to take health and wellness into every Barbadian community.
It is not to say that wellness activities did not exist before. We have a very vibrant NGO community who have been at the forefront of this effort for years. And what we are seeking to do is to harmonize those efforts and to really make this truly national. So we are taking it into every village and every community, and that's why we are launching here in the community, into every church, into every workplace, into every home, into every school.
And Minister of Health in Jamaica, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says it is essential that Caribbean states look at their common challenges and address them.
Caribbean Moves is an attempt to mobilize the region. One country at a time, one community at a time, one individual at a time. It's about taking personal responsibility for your health by doing the things that you know will help you to live longer and a healthier life. And finally, it's about uniting the Caribbean. One message, one method, one approach, and by extension, strengthening us as a people. We are brothers and sisters, and we have to work together.
And Barbados Moves also has the backing of MP for St. George South and Minister of Small Business, Entrepreneurship and Commerce, Dwight Sutherland.
We're here at the
home of the Ellerton Sports and Social Academy, a place where we take wellness very seriously. I'm a life member of the club, and indeed we're doing wonderful things, not only in sport, but in other areas, trying to create some wealthy minds among our youth. And I think that is most important for me, because we can play the sports and have fun, but at the end of the day, we need to continue to build and foster harmony within communities. And I want to thank again the Minister of Health from Jamaica and within the region for launching this event, Caribbean Moves.
The ruling Barbados Labour Party intends to celebrate its election victory during its upcoming 80th Annual General Conference next weekend. Chairman of the 80th Annual Conference Arrangements Committee, Kurt Haynes, saluted all branches who aided their candidates in becoming members of Parliament in the May 24th poll. This year's conference takes place at the Lodge School in St. John on October 26th, 27th and 28th, and activities will be held under the theme, Let's Do This for Barbados. Mr. Haynes says he intends to renew the pledge of service to country. Key highlights include the speech by the party's President and Prime Minister, Mia Amor-Motley, and guest speaker, Dr. Peter Phillips, opposition leader of Jamaica. Several Barbadians who have contributed to the party and national development will be recognized at the 80th Annual Conference.
We look forward to seeing them as we toast this fine moment with the Barbados Labour Party family. On this special night, we also recognize persons who are non-members. These men and women have made incredible contributions to our nation, and this year is no different. We acknowledge awardees in the area of sport, youth, and culture. And this year, my committee has expanded and added environmental protection and education.
And Chairman of the Booklet and Editorial Subcommittee, Davidson Ishmael, says the BLP intends to capture and highlight its 80 years as a party through its annual conference booklet.
We have features that will be juxtaposing our 80 years, showing where we have come from as a party. So you'll see highlights and mentions of our founding fathers, namely our Sir Grantley Adams. You will see then highlights coming forward to 2018, where we now have our great leader, the Honorable Prime Minister, Mia Amor-Motley. In the magazine and the booklet, you're also going to see a lot of articles coming from the rank and file of the Barbados Labour Party.
Government's Farmers Empowerment and Enhancement Drive, which will provide agricultural land for over 2,000 farmers, is set to get started from next month. Chief Agricultural Officer Lennox Chandler made the announcement as he delivered remarks on behalf of Agriculture Minister Indar Ware. Speaking at the Barbados Agricultural Society's annual general meeting at Radisson Aquatica Hotel, he said the program is currently before the Cabinet.
It will see participants initially enrolled in a 6-month training program in and off field before graduating to larger plots for their own operations. And my understanding is that the farmers will be put into clusters, which is aimed to get them involved in a cooperative form of environment. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but we shall see.
The program is also set to improve the availability of local livestock.
The things that they're going to be focusing on in the feed program is small ruminants, sheep, goats, and unfortunately for those who think rabbits are small ruminants, they're not, but they're always mentioned in the same breath, so small ruminants will, in a wider definition, will include sheep, goats, and rabbits if you want to go that far.
The elderly congregation at St. John the Baptist Anglican Church has a program which caters directly to them. It's all thanks to the National Assistance Board, which answered the call of priest of the church, Reverend Wayne Curtin, who says he has been searching for a recreational center for that large demographic of his flock. The center will cater to many activities, such as craft and jewelry making, and Reverend Curtin says caring for the elderly is a duty of all Barbadians.
It is on their backs, their sweat, that this nation was built. And we have to do everything possible in their golden years to make sure that they're well taken care of, that they're not shut away, that we become ashamed of them, and we do not seek to make them realize that they have contributed and that it is important for them to see that we care for them.
And Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Neil Rowe, says the St. John the Baptist Senior Recreational Program will have numerous benefits.
Participating in such activities can promote mental and physical wellness as well as emotional well-being. No matter where you are in life, there is no better time than now to start participating. Today, we see the achievements of those who choose to remain engaged and active. I am pleased to be associated with the opening of the St. John the Baptist Seniors Recreational Activities Center.